Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the most valuable player of 2018, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs, as they match up with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's head over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. For the call of this one, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, on to get us started. And off we go from Tampa. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City coming off the Week 6 loss to Houston. Get a look at that offense and Mahomes here in a second. But in that game in Week 6, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick for Patrick Mahomes. But the Chiefs now, Charles, 2 straight losses at home, and they're at 4-2.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago, we were ready to give Patrick Mahomes a second straight MVP, and he may still win it. He's that talented. But the struggles are twofold. 1, battling an ankle injury. And 2, his own defense. He's got to play catch-up ball a lot, or hero ball, as they say, to try and maintain a proper pace and stay ahead.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. From the 38, Mahomes, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
Now here's Mahomes. And Robinson with a big catch. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action. Now Mahomes. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Sammy Watkins, 38 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with two guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jameis Winston trots on the field with the rest of Tampa Bay's offense. And for Winston, let's start with the positive. Threw for 400 yards on the nose, the most of any quarterback on Sunday in Week 6. But there's a big but, cannot lie. 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions in that game.
Yeah, he also lost a fumble, so the first time in 3 years. Quarterback has accounted for 6 turnovers in one game. And remember, Bruce Arians was hired specifically to not just make the team better, but to make Jameis Winston more consistent as a quarterback. And he had been in recent weeks. He reverted back to what they were trying to get taken care of. And, boy, that was a tough one for them to go to London and have that pop up.
And for Winston, that's now 10 interceptions on the season. Only Baker Mayfield has more. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Pass complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down. What a start to the season it's been for Chris Godwin. Through 6 weeks, he leads the league in receiving yards. And in the Week 6 game against the Panthers in London, 10 catches, 151 yards. And that's now 400-yard games in the last 5 weeks for him. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Jameis to throw it. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 23.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year, but that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. And a quick look at the Buccaneer defensive starters.
And Ndamukong Suh provokes a whole lot of conversation. But at the end, everyone agrees, one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one?
And look at this. It's a fake. But he will not make the first down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. On 3rd down, Winston. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation.
Matt Gay for the Buccaneers field goal. A 37-yard attempt.
Gay's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Last year's MVP, Patrick Mahomes, leading the Chiefs for their next possession. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Levante David in on the tackle. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first. Tyreek Hill made his return in Week 6 after being out since the opener. And he was good. His 9th game with 2 or more touchdowns since he came into the league back in 2016. During that span, by the way, 18 touchdowns of 40-plus yards. That's more than double the next best total. Now a throw to the end zone, first down, but it winds up incomplete. Kelsey, the intended receiver there, but it's going to be second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground with McCoy. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Mahomes going to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And Butker able to put this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tampa Bay's offense coming back out here. And earlier we discussed in Week 6, there's 7 turnovers in that game in London. Well, afterwards, Bruce Arians summed it up perfectly. To state the obvious, he said, you're not going to beat anyone with turnovers.
Thank you, Bruce. And he's exactly right. He just was very succinct about what he had to say. So now they hit their open week. They'll get acclimated to the Eastern time zone again. But how about their schedule after that? At Tennessee, at Seattle. Now, remember, we were looking at that Winston-Mariota matchup. We might not have it. Mariota got yanked against the Denver Broncos, and then they've got to go to Seattle and deal with Russell Wilson's magic. Not good.
And if they were to lose those 2 games at Tennessee and at Seattle, all of a sudden they're 2-6. Not looking good. Okay, now I want to revisit what we were doing earlier, contender versus pretender. We did the AFC. Let's rock the NFC here, starting with the New York Giants.
Pretender, but much improved.
Okay, NFC North, how about the Vikings?
Contender, no doubt about it.
Carolina in the South, what do you think there?
Contender and ascending.
Okay, the quarterback play has become a good thing for them. Finally, out west, how about the Arizona Cardinals?
Pretender. The division's just way too tough. There are 3 teams better than them.
Now he'll let it go deep left side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Here's Hill on the return. Hill shedding the tackle. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Back out here comes Kansas City's offense. Charles, those 2 straight home losses for Kansas City, as we said earlier, drops them to 4-2. But, you know, you've told me you still very much believe in this team despite those 2 defeats.
I certainly do. They have to shore things up on defense, and we'll see how that goes, especially in the run game. But when Patrick Mahomes is piloting your offense and you have the weapons on the perimeter and they've got Damian Williams back as a running back, they're going to be dangerous every time they play. Still can't believe they lost consecutive home games the first time since 2015, because that's a tough...
And he's got it! Touchdown, Chiefs! Demarcus Robinson there to make the grab. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 17-3. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Heading back out there, a look at Peyton Barber. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Winston. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Winston now. And his throw is incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Again, it's Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 24-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. The intended target was Chris Godwin, but it'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync.
And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard as the first half is winding down, as his guys are back within a single score. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they'd only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, and when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as the head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. They'll take it in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead. Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation. Or go 4 verticals because why not? Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things. There's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Just go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll be marked down all the way inside the KC 10. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 58 yards.
Are we really in the second half here? And this is the first time we've seen Jameis Winston connect with Mike Evans?
Yeah, you know that they missed that in the first half. Up until this point, they've really missed it, haven't they?
I think that's a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it second and goal.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Cameron Brate there to make the grab as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will level the playing field at 17 all. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. He goes 95 yards to the house on the kick return. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Showing off that speed and electric boost that he has. 95 yards that kick return goes down for. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit.
Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. Now Mahomes. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. There on the coverage, knocking that one away was Mike Edwards.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. A good pickup there, 26. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like he just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Mahomes now to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Let's go, touchdown,
Travis Kelsey, 45 yards. And thanks to the interception, the Chiefs offense cashes in with 6. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws. They become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the... And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit, and you just wonder.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down on what's going going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with this third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun. Winston. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold. And finally, the eyes carried the legs and took him downfield.
You're right. His longest run of the game waited until the 4th quarter, and maybe that lulled the defense to sleep a little bit. They'll go again to McCoy. Broken. And McCoy is in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And there he had to break multiple tackles to earn that touchdown. Bottom line, he earned that touchdown.
Indeed, he did. That was pretty much a get off of one and all the way into the end zone.
Butker on for the PAT. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs.
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I got to understand. You want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
Did the same. It smelled terrible. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Here's Winston. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard. That'll bring up 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now Winston. He'll find Barber out of the backfield. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. Open man is Howard, the tight end. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and that'll bring up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Winston leaves it with Barber on the draw. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Winston from the gun on third down. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Mahomes now on the option right. And an alley to run. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now here's Mahomes. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
You know I'm going to lean.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the rookie from UVA, Juan Thornhill.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Refusing to go down. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And now running right through it. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Tampa.